Weren't you supposed to be an Anthrocon? So a lot of you guys have been asking, what's the schedule for WASD? And you know what? It's every other Monday.
If you go back, the episodes,
Go back in time.
they are every other Monday. And that's how it will continue to be until we feel we can start doing it more frequently.
And this week, I'm drinking Lagunitas Imperial Stout. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Woodchuck hard cider, the amber. Is it amber?
Nice. I love me some
It's not
Woodchuck.
open yet because this is my first one. This is my
That
second
twist
one.
off? I don't want to get you a bottle opener in the middle of
I'm pretty sure I've opened these before. It doesn't say. I've twisted
Use
them
opener.
off. I've twisted them off though.
It says use opener.
I'm so
Hold
manly.
on, I'll be right back.
I'm so manly. I twisted them off. Last week we asked you what you feel publishers do to gaming. First comment that we chose comes from Harbinger1 from the forum, and he said that he heard on average more than 60% of ideas and content get scrapped to push a game out to get their money on time.
That's a lot of ideas.
That's over half.
There should not be over half of creativeness being thrown away.
You're pretty much playing 1/3 of a game. One of the reasons why I love indie, you're playing the full what they want. Then the next thing he said that people in the industry are getting laid off everywhere you look. And I can kind of relate to this on a personal level because my brother is kind of in the industry, not in terms of gaming, but in terms of like movies and TV shows. He does like the CG and special effects and stuff like that. I've heard stories from him. He's seen it firsthand. It's very similar in that industry along with the gaming industry. So it's pretty scary. Your job is teetering, so to speak.
I would not want to go to work every day, like, wondering if I still had a job. That would.
And even then, they don't
So
even
stressful.
pay you adequately, like half the time. The next thing he mentions is you could lose funding, and that's how a lot of games get canceled because they were trying to make a game really great, but it took longer than expected and pissed off the shareholders.
So.
We were just talking about canceled games.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened to a whole bunch of them, you know?
All right, next comment was from techsyndicate.com. The user, damn it. That's a nice username, man. He said, he worked in the game industries as an artist for over a decade, and publishers are just a necessary evil for producing large global AAA games, and they're just huge, and like multi-million dollars huge. So it's just way beyond what any development studio could afford by itself, unless it can get a large Kickstarter backing.
I half agree. I agree on the terms of marketing, like, you know, it does require a lot of money to get the word out there on the game and everything.
Yeah.
Like a game that is AAA quality.
Yeah.
I don't agree in that aspect. Like, you do not have to have a publisher. And he did mention the Kickstarter backing, but I mean, I've seen games on Kickstarter that didn't ask for that much and looked amazing.
I think the biggest thing with publishers is the marketing. Like, I've seen a lot of good games without like super AAA publishers. They're good games. They just don't have the marketing to get them out there and well known. That's why like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and all these other games are just so well known because of the marketing. And that's
even though I hate their advertising.
Yeah.
Next comment we have is from Cell Processing on the forum. And he said, publishers are stifling innovation in games and in gameplay. I really agree with that. And he also said, everyone is stuck on sequels because they're the safe bet. And yeah, if a game did successfully the first time around, they're like, oh, if we make another one, regardless if it's great or not, people will buy it because they liked the previous one.
Yeah.
Some AAA publishers are stuck on the concept that every game needs to be a huge cash cow, but the cost of such games and the loss if they fail have them stuck making safe bets. Yeah, that's why you see so many games that are just so similar to each other.
Yeah, they're carbon
like,
copies, and then it's just sequels and sequels and
like,
sequels.
oh, modern shooter, modern shooter, modern shooter. It's like, come on.
Our next comment was from YouTube, Next Life on Earth. He says, I think they often do great things for the game, both financially and in content, but they push the release date to what isn't always best for the gamers. They choose shitty programs to distribute the game, like Uplay and Origin, and like Watch Dogs, they put standards on games that won't let them reach their potential. They're always with consoles, and the PC gamers may drop in the shit. What? I don't know what that last part meant, but anyway, yeah, I really agree with some of the stuff he said, but at the same time, it's just mostly financial. Like, it's all it is, and it's just...
I think the last thing he was saying was just like ports, basically. Like, games could be way better if they were more well optimized for PC, but because they have to keep the consoles in mind, then they're really dumbed down on PC.
Origin thankfully took their stuff off of Steam and put it on their own thing, so we don't have to have EA games on Steam, because bye. But as far as him talking about helping the game with great content, I think they do the opposite. They're hounding the developers to get rid of content and push things faster, and that seems to be a lot of the consensus with these comments and with publishers, is that they push games out too early, and they don't let developers innovate and try new things. They're too busy trying to play it safe and make their money to like do anything new. So let's do some examples of games that were pushed out too early, like SWTOR. I played SWTOR when it first came out because like I was kind of done playing WoW and I like Star Wars, so when SWTOR came out I was like, a lot of my friends are going to play it, so I'm like, alright, I'll play it. But you know what, when I got to the end game, the storyline was really cool, the voice acting was cool, the game looked really good, but the end game had like nothing. I remember raiding in Eternity Vault and Soa, the Infernal one. I have never wiped on a boss so many times because of bugs in my life.
I'd get so mad.
Like it wasn't the fact that he was hard, because it was a hard boss, but literally half, probably like 80% of the wipes were because of it bugged somehow.
Give some examples of the bugs.
I can't remember. I can't remember now because it was a while ago,
Yeah.
and in that game mostly I just PvP'd. I was really feared on that server.
I hated PvP. Like,
Jedi Guardian.
It was so stupid.
I just love force pushing people and
Hutball.
Hutball, yes.
No.
Hutball was my favorite.
It was my most hated thing. It was like, why can't I just kill people? Why do I have to do this stupid...
I loved Hutball, and because I love objectives, and I loved Alderaan.
I like just like rolling face.
Yeah, I know, but I played Jedi Guardian and I loved the PvP. That was like my favorite thing, but then the servers died and I got sad. Anyways, any more examples for games that came out too early?
My example is Guild Wars 2. I was really, 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 really looking forward to Guild Wars 2, and it's a good game. I will say it is a good game. Pre-ordered it, played from day one, got to max level, and then I was like, now what? I just didn't, there was like no endgame content outside of the World v World.
Yeah.
And I'd say to people, be like, I don't know what to do now, max level, and they're like, just play World v World. It's like, I don't want to play World v World. I want to, do something else. And I would log in, I would just kind of like run around like, I don't know what to do. But there is a lot of things to do now in the game. They put out a lot of new content for endgame, but a lot of people who pre-ordered and played from day one, got to max level, that didn't know what to do, they quit like I did because they're just like, I don't know what to do, and then they just stopped playing. And so I think that really hurt the player base, especially for the people who bought the game, on release.
I only played the beta. Like, I think I played the beta. I played an Elementalist to like level 20-ish.
I heard that's the most difficult class to play.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked it, but
I was a necromancer.
it just wasn't my style of MMO. I don't know.
I pre-ordered Guild Wars 2.
Yep.
And I don't regret it. But there is a lot of controversy behind pre-ordering games, and some games they give you like special benefits and stuff. So in what cases do you think pre-ordering when do you think pre-ordering is okay and when it's not okay? Yeah, when do you think it's okay and when do you think it's not okay?
I don't think it's okay when they give exclusive content. That makes me mad because I don't like pre-ordering games.
And sometimes they do it for like certain platforms, like pre-order on PlayStation only, at GameStop only, and you get this gun that kills everybody. It's like, what?
I don't know.
It's pretty lame.
Yeah, and then special
or
like,
you
skins
get like
and stuff. It's like
more levels.
It's just I don't know. It seems like a really gimmicky way to get them to buy the game. It's like, ooh, I better pre-order this game if I want this content. When it's like, if I don't get the game right away and I get it like a month down the road, it's like, oh, I can never get that. I don't know.
It just sounds like wasted content to me. Like, I feel bad for the developers. It's like they made this that like, I don't know, just kind of seems like a waste of time to develop that content where like only a few people can have access to it.
Yeah.
And
I guess in a way it's almost like buying like the deluxe edition of like World of Warcraft or like StarCraft, and you get all that like pets and stuff, all that aesthetic stuff.
In MMOs though, you can always upgrade to the deluxe edition like post launch. Like there's always that option. And it's never, with MMOs, it's never anything game breaking, I've noticed. Like, MMOs are very fair when it comes to pre-ordering. Pre-ordering MMOs, they give you like a few days head start, which I'm totally okay with that. You spend your money early, then you get to play a few days early. Totally fine,
Yeah.
Why not? You're not, and if somebody else buys it later on, they're not missing out on anything that You got maybe some like...
So that'd be an upside to pre-ordering.
Maybe some pet that doesn't actually do anything, just follows you around.
Yeah.
That's just an aesthetic thing. Doesn't really matter. It's whatever.
Well, most exclusive content is aesthetic. Like, I don't really know any examples of exclusive content that isn't aesthetic. But still, it kind of sucks that in order to get that exclusive content, you have to buy it before the game even comes out.
I know of some that were like, oh, you get a couple extra levels in the campaign for pre-ordering.
Really?
Yeah, I can't...
That seems... that I would not like that.
I can't say any names specifically because I don't remember. It was a really long time ago.
An OP sniper rifle.
Really?
For pre-ordering?
Yep.
That's not good.
Yeah, you get like, there's a lot of games that have OP guns.
That just makes the game less fun. Like, let me buy this super powerful gun that one-shots everybody because I pre-ordered it.
It's because the publishers are so afraid that it's not going to sell well, so they're like, oh, if we do this, then people will make sure it gets
See, the thing
sales.
is just make a good game and it'll sell well. Stop giving all this gimmicky stuff.
Gimmicks and taking safe road,
Yeah.
that's all it is. Now, next to pre-ordering, and similar, but not quite the same, is early access.
Yeah.
And there are some games that do early access right, and then there are some games that do early access wrong. One game, actually the most recent game that I bought, which is early access and it's still early access, is The Forest. This early access is fine because it is indie, so the early access, it gives them the funding to help make it, make it a better game. There's like a disclaimer everywhere saying like, this is a really early build, so you buy at your own risk.
Yeah.
And they tell you like, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to have bugs and everything. So
it's almost like playing an alpha or something.
Yeah. So it's your choice if you want to be a part of that or not. I personally really enjoy watching a game get developed like firsthand. I think it's really cool to watch.
Yeah.
And The Force is also getting a lot of updates really fast. So you know that money is being put to use.
It should be.
Yeah.
So that's what the point is.
And what would you say is an example of a bad early access game?
DayZ is definitely, when that first came out, it was literally unplayable. Like you could not play that.
And they didn't really, when you read the description of the game on Steam, it didn't really say that like the game was so bare bones. You know?
And that was $30. Like $30 for an unplayable game. Like really? Like
that price tag.
Like okay, if you're gonna do early access, at least make it somewhat playable. Don't give us a game that's so early in development that it's unplayable. Like that's just messed up.
Like you might as well be a dev playing that game because it's
like,
just so unenjoyable.
Don't release something for early access until it's like alpha mode almost, where it's playable but there's still a lot of bugs. Yeah. And then right before beta kind of stuff. Yeah.
And I think they made it $30 because they knew that it was going to sell because it was DayZ.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, $30, and then you're just like running around like, okay. And then you try to hit a zombie and it's not registering and just...
I remember watching like a lot of videos on YouTube about like DayZ, and it would just be people running around for like a long time, nothing happening, and then like they'd find like bodies, and these bodies would be like floating in like weird areas, and then like blood would just be like spewing out of their ass into the air. And it's just like, what happened to this guy where he's just shitting blood into the air? Like, and it's just a constant stream of blood. And it's this guy is just like laying like weird and like in the air. And it's like, that's a weird bug.
I have a Let's Play video on the Beer Games Beer YouTube channel of DayZ, playing with some friends. And it was recorded shortly after the game was put on Steam. Yeah. So it's just completely like bug laden. And so you can really see, like, my friends are just, like, porting through walls everywhere. And just, if you want to check it out and you're not sure exactly how buggy the game was, watch that and you'll get an idea.
I've played that game for a little, not too long because it was super buggy. And I've watched a lot of videos and I've never seen a single zombie. What do zombies look like in that game? I've honestly never seen a zombie.
There's only two, well, I can't say for now, but when I was playing, there was only 2 skins.
Really?
A male zombie and a female zombie. They all look the
same.
But
like, it's okay. It's supposed to be a zombie game and it's supposed to be a survival game. But like, literally, I've watched so many YouTube videos and I played it for a while and not a single zombie. Like, what is that? Like, come on. Like,
running simulator?
Yeah, it's just a backpack simulator. Like, all right, looking for stuff. Oh, these guys are gonna kill me and take it all.
I'm sure that's probably changed now, but we just haven't played it in so long. Yeah, because we got it and then we got sick of it because it was just meh.
So let's talk about early access done right.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say Broforce. I don't remember who it was in my stream that recommended this game to me, but thank you. because this game is both fun and hilarious. And that is actually my what to play this week, Broforce. It's in early access right now, and they've updated it a few times now, and it's just a really good example of a great early access game. My favorite character in that game is MacBrover. It's like a spin-off of MacGyver, and he's got like this little TNT, and you can like stick it to people, and they're like, "Oh God, TNT on me!" And they run around and they panic. It's awesome. It's a really fun. It's chaotic. It's got a lot of maps. It's still early access. They said it's going to be released early 2015. But they're doing a lot of good updates. Like they actually just did one for 4th of July. They released 2 more characters. And it's pretty cool when you're doing the campaign mode, because when you're like going from like mission hub to mission hub, it's almost like Mario, like Super Mario, where it's like you go on a map and you like move to the next area, and then you like land.
You go from like point to point.
Yeah, but it's like you're in a helicopter and you like land and you're like liberating these areas and stuff.
America.
I would say my only gripe with the game right now, and it's still early access, so it could change, is the fact that there's no audio level adjustment. You can either turn audio off or turn audio on. So in order to...
It's probably really loud.
Yeah, it's really loud. So in order to change the audio, you have to go into like Audio Mixer and like turn it down.
Yeah, and go into your Windows audio.
Yeah. But that's the only thing. Other than that, I love that game. I was streaming it the other day.
So it's still totally playable.
Yeah.
And they're just updating it by like adding more maps.
They're adding more maps and more characters.
Yeah, that is early access done right.
Yeah.
So that was his what to play. And I'm going to do my what to play. And my what to play is Chivalry. There are so many games that I have that I feel like I have to be sober to play them. But this game, it's best experience with some drinks.
And the only difference between me and you, Julian, is a couple of drinks.
I'm just going to say it right now. It's so much fun to play with a buzz, because it's the best hand-to-hand medieval combat game that I can think of to date. There is an option to play in third person, but first person I think gives the best immersive experience. There is a lot of skill involved, and so you would think, like, why would you drink if the game requires a lot of skill? Because yes, it requires a lot of skill, but it also requires like a lot of gall, you know? Like, the gall that alcohol will give you.
Alcohol will give you that extra.
So liquid courage is really good for that game, because I'm sure guys, you know, way back when, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, in medieval times,
mead.
Yes, they were drinking a lot. So
yeah.
I think drinking even adds more to the immersion.
Gotta drink that mead.
There are multiple game modes, many classes to choose from, and lots of weapons. Mm-hmm. And they're just constantly updating it. You know, they're adding more weapons, adding more levels. Like, there's so much they've added since I've last played, and I really want to play it again.
How long has this game been out?
I started playing it before I joined Tech Syndicate.
Oh wow, that's been out for a while.
Yeah,
then. And they're still updating it.
Yep,
that's
still
awesome.
Updating it, but
a game that's been out that long and they're still updating it. That's amazing.
Yeah, every time you go to PAX, they're like displaying something new that they've just added to the game. So it's pretty cool. I love it a lot.
I actually just bought this game on during the summer sale. I got it for like $5, I think. So I haven't played it yet, but I think I'm going to be playing it. Probably streaming it soon. Maybe playing it and learning how to play, then stream it. Because it sounds like it's going to be a little complicated.
When you get a kill, it is so satisfying.
Can you decapitate people and stuff?
You can decapitate them. Yes. You can kick them into spikes, and they get stuck into the spikes.
I don't know why that's so satisfying, just to decapitate people. I love doing that in Skyrim. Just having that little thing happen.
But you could be dueling someone for like 5 solid minutes. Really? Like, me and Logan will just be dueling forever, and then one of us will finally get a kill, and it's just like, yes, it just feels so good. It feels so good. Off. Yeah, you lob their arm off, and it's all over from
just
there.
A flesh wound. Just about to scratch.
I like to kill them, and then they fall to their knees, and then I just kick them down. It's awesome.
All right, so Steam sales.
Yes.
I bought that on Steam sales. Summer sale just happened. I bought about 25 games, maybe, for like less than $7.
I bought about 0 games for
Well, you already
$0.
You already have a big library. My library was a little bit less.
Yeah. There was only one game that I wanted to buy, but it actually never went on sale.
Really?
And it was Spin Tires.
Oh, that's sad. That game...
I want that game.
It looked... I don't know. I'm not really a fan of simulators, but it looked interesting.
I love off-roading and stuff like that, and just... I don't know. It looks like fun to me, but I don't think I would pay $30 for it.
Yeah.
So if someone gifted it to me, it would be awesome. But I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't pay $30 for it.
Someone gifted it to me.
Wink. Anyway, so that was fun. The summer sale.
Yeah, the summer sale was awesome.
The whole like team thing that
Red
they
team.
were doing. I was on green.
You're on green?
Yeah.
I think I won almost every time.
Yeah, red team won all the time.
Yeah. I didn't get anything for it. Like, I don't know, like, I was, like, buying games like crazy, and it said, like, I was not doing anything. I'm like, okay, just...
Well, you had to, like, craft these cards. But you had to be,
that
like...
whole card thing in Steam is so weird to me. It's like, I don't care about that. I just want to buy games and play them. Like, what's all this card shit?
I think that's kind of... The people who are attracted to, like, hats in Team Fortress are also kind of, like, attracted to cards. Like...
It's just, like, I had, like, I think, like, 6 out of 10 cards for Steam, like, summer sale, and I'm like... I don't even care about trying to trade for these. I like 3 of everything, and I'm like...
I play a new game, and they're like, you got 3 new cards in your inventory. I'm just like, okay.
And like, stop giving me these notifications. I just want to play the game. I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't care.
All right, but free weekends. That's another thing that Steam does. And, like, I guess it's great for sales. It lets you play a game that is normally, like, $30 or something.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to try it out. You know, because not every game has a demo on Steam, so... It's nice to, you know, have a chance to play it and see what you think about it if you want to buy it. But I think it's bad for the player base in said game because I've played CSGO and I've had that game since before it came out, and it would have free weekends that I'd be playing. Free weekend would come along, and then like all these people who had no idea how to, like, I felt
just
like
ruin the game. They'd be like,
yeah, I felt like most of them never even played Counter-Strike before.
Yeah,
and
they're just like, oh, it's free, I guess I'll play it.
What are these people doing?
I've honestly never played a free weekend game because it's just like, oh, it's just free for the weekend, and then it's going to be like, I don't want to like it and then buy it. It's like, because
God forbid you like something.
God forbid I like it and want to buy it, but it's like, it's just free for the weekend. It's just, Like,
well, I mean, if you feel you have the money,
I've got so many games to play already. It's like I don't want to play it for just. Yeah, I'm really backlogged. Yeah. So speaking of game sales, speaking of free weekends, how many games do you guys have that you haven't played? Like, what's going on?
Specifically in your Steam library.
Yeah, Steam library. Oh, like with that.
I have 365 games, 254 of which are unplayed. That equates to 70% of my games have not been played. Now, to be fair, 70% of my games have not been purchased willingly, meaning that I go on to Humble Bundle, right, and I'm like, ooh, Humble Bundle, $6, and I get these 15 shit games.
There's like one game you want to play, and you get all the rest.
Oh, gotta have that one.
Oh, yeah.
So I buy that one, and I get 14 games I don't care about, but, you know, I want to help the developers or whatever. Yeah. During the Steam Summer Sale, I bought 0 games because I bought everything on Good Old Games. I'm really, really into the DRM-free old school games, and a lot of the indie games are on Good Old Games.
Is awesome.
But where are we going with this whole like games you haven't played? Like
we're just trying to say,
like, yeah, we're trying to say like because of Steam Summer Sales, and you're like, people that just buy games like, ooh, that's on sale, let me buy it, and it's just in their library.
It's common knowledge to have lots of games in your library that are unplayed. I mean, you see it all over PC Master Race. Like, oh, there's so many games in my library that it's like, where did these games come from? I didn't even know I had this.
You're like, I bought 25 games, and I'm like, oh my god, when am I going to have time to play all these games?
It's interesting. I looked at the retail value of my library, and it said it was around $4,000. However, if you purchase those games on sale, the entire retail value was like $1,030 or something ridiculous like that. So I have 365 games for just over $1,000.
I don't think I bought a single game.
That's like the price of a couple of consoles.
Yeah,
and that's we're talking 365 games, a game a day, guys. For you guys out there who are keeping
just
track
Master
of
Race things.
Days.
All right, Pistol. What about you? What's your library look like?
I have 165 games, 70 of which are unplayed, equaling 42% of my library is untouched. But there are some in my library that I have played in other instances outside of Steam.
Oh, yes.
So that doesn't actually like count.
So it's not
in
like
Steam
fully accurate. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good indication there.
Yeah.
I would say 30 to 40% is unplayed. I mean, I'm the same. I've got Invisible War, Deus Ex, awful game, but I beat the game on CD-ROM when I bought it from like, big box Babbage's or something from back in the day when they were still in business.
Yeah. And as a transitioning peasant, did I say that right? I've only got 88 games on my Steam library, and I actually hand counted which ones I played, and I don't know how I just said counted, but I've got 44 unplayed, equaling 50% unplayed. But I'm the type of guy where I play one game a lot for a long time, and I don't really play like a whole lot of games. I'm changing that now. I'm trying to play like more games, but for a while I was just one game, long time, one game, long time, like that kind of thing.
I'll play like 5 or 6 games in one day, and if it doesn't hold my attention, well, I'll play for a few minutes, and I'm like, if this is going to like change my life, then I want to keep playing it. You know what I mean? I'm at the point right now where my
game changed your life.
well, it's like my time is so short these days, and I love the game, but I can't afford to play something unless it's either really amazing, revolutionary. I can't afford to play the same game over and over again. That's why I usually stay away from the AAA titles. But I really want to play something that makes me think, or I really, really, really enjoy. If I only kind of enjoy it, I'm on to the next thing to see if I... And sometimes I'll play 6 games in a row and be like, damn, I didn't really love any of these games. They were all kind of cool, and I would recommend them, but I won't play them.
Yeah, and we got a lot of these stats using Steamometer. So,
Yeah, Steamometer, it's a pretty cool website. You just put in your Steam name. You don't have to log in through Steam, because that's how you get fished.
Yeah, don't log in through Steam.
Yeah,
Don't
you
do
just
that.
put in your Steam name and,
Don't log in through Steam.
and
Just
make
put-
sure your profile is public so it can pull the information. And,
Mine's private.
yeah.
So
You had to count.
I couldn't.
And it will also calculate.
That's why I hand counted.
It will also calculate like how much you spent on a game and versus how many hours you spent playing it, and then it calculates like pretty much how much money per hour. So like Skyrim, they calculated
Like a penny an
it was
hour.
at 8 cents an hour. It was pretty much
8 cents an
cost
hour.
to
You're making good money. You're making
cost
good
to
time on your
like
money.
gameplay ratio, I guess you could say.
Wow.
8
It's like
cents.
2 foreign employees.
So we're just wondering, like, well, go ahead in the comments, like, what's your Steam library look like?
Tell us or else.
How many
Tell
games
us
have
more
you
else.
not played in your
Yeah.
library?
And we need a good excuse as to why you haven't played them, and if not, we want you to feel guilty and then go play some of these. And for
Play some
God's
games,
sake,
man.
play the games that they've recommended here. Kane and I played a lot of Doom Deathmatch over the internet this week. TCP/IP, it's not supposed to be that way, but it is.
I was watching you play that. It looked pretty fun.
That game is, I think, possibly more fun than Quake. Like, the multiplayer is just so fast-paced and fun. If you guys want to go grab some Doom mods and stuff, maybe I'll make a video showing them how to do that so we can all play together. And we'll
The
have
Mega Man will look cool.
Mega Man one was
That'd be a good how-to
kinda cool,
video.
yeah. Yeah, I'll make a how-to video, then we can all play Doom together, or Doom 2 together. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we should have a Doom game night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
You
just
guys
had,
look forward to that.
We just had Doom game day on the summit of a mountain, so
Highlander.
yeah, we'll have a game night. Can I leave now?
Yes, you can
Yeah.
leave now.
Bye. Leave.
Bye.
Get out of here.
Get out of our episode.
We're done with you.
Challengers left a match. So we're gonna rant for a little bit about a few things we saw on the internet this week. First being, Fox ripped off the BioShock Infinite logo. What was that about?
I mean, I don't expect Fox to do anything original or requiring brain power to begin with anyway.
I think like Fox is like the bottom of the barrel of news
It's
because
not even
they're
news.
so biased
It's not
and
even
paid
news.
off that it's like, don't watch Fox, please. Well, don't watch Fox.
It's more newsworthy to pick up a rock off the ground and look at it and be like, this rock
But like
looks
the
cool.
BioShock Infinite logo, like what? It's like, I don't remember what
They
it said,
even
like
went through
freedom
the
or something.
fuss of like editing the words on it.
Oh, even the guy, one of the developers, was like, "You're welcome for doing the work" or something like that. He like tweeted. It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then another thing that we saw, EA charged $5 for a demo.
Yeah, sounds like a great peasant thing.
Have you, just peasant things.
Just peasant things.
Hashtag. Have you ever heard of a demo costing money before?
No, and that was kind of weird to see. Like $5 for a demo on Xbox One. Good job, Xbox One.
But shortly after that circulated through the internet, then they posted an article like, "Oh, we didn't mean to," and then they took the $5
Yeah,
price
EA
tag
was
off.
like, "That was just an error, guys. We didn't mean to charge you $5."
I've never seen anything else by EA listed as $5. Like
Yeah.
everything I've seen by EA is like $60. So like,
Yeah.
it would only be $5 if they specifically were like, buy this demo for $5. You know, like what else would they have listed for $5 and accidentally put it on the demo?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Another thing, Call of Duty Blunt Force character pack. What is that? Like.
Insert
Just
the
gotta-
bong image
Just
here.
gotta put like, well,
Wait,
weed
who
leaves all
created
over.
the bong image? Was it
It was Big Al.
Big Al?
Yeah.
Insert Big Al's picture here.
But like, come on, Blunt Force character pack. It looks like Ed Hardy. Like the guns look like Ed Hardy guns, and then they've got like characters that are just nothing but flames and nothing but weed leaves or pot leaves, whatever you want to
leaves,
call them. And just like Ed Hardy shit. Like what is that?
At least
like,
they know their target
They
audience.
know their target audience, but that's just wow.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Oh, well, we don't play Call of Duty anyway,
No.
but it's still ridiculous.
But I saw that and I was just like, really?
I don't think I've ever seen any form of DLC that included marijuana.
Like,
I think it's the first time I've ever seen like marijuana-related DLC. I wonder how their sales were in Colorado.
no comment. I was just there. All right, so that's this time on WASD. Next time, we want to know what games are you looking forward to and why.
There's so many I can think of. I have this tradition. Every year I make a Word document, save it to my desktop, of games that I'm looking forward to that are coming out either this year or the next year. And I just have this huge list. And I put like, I want to get this game, or I just want to keep an eye on this game. And I put like the release dates next to it. And it's just every year it's just been like a personal tradition of mine, so I keep track. Because I forget, because the list is pretty extensive every year. I have plenty of answers I can give for this.
Me too.
Yeah. So we're really interested in yours, and then maybe we'll hear of some games that we never heard of before.
Maybe. All right, and thanks for watching. Zelda.
Cheers. But they still sell for Xbox peasants. I used to bite bottle caps off until I got fillings.
That sounds unhealthy.
And I started hurting.
That sounds unhealthy.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's probably
That's
why
for
I
later.
got fillings.
Can you sit up a little bit when I'm looking at you? I feel like I'm turning around and they're just looking at the back of my head.
Well, because you're like this, and you're like, hey, can you sit up? You want to keep those teeth?
I wish I had fangs like a
Okay,
vampire.
shut up. I'm doing this.
What? NSA is watching. We like to watch. That was weird. I looked at your boobs there. You're like half your face.
Yeah, you're not.
Shit!
You're
Play it for this-
backlogged.
Yeah, I'm really backlogged.
Yeah.
And
Metamucil.
I know.
That's
Video game
disgusting.
Metamucil.
Video game Metamucil. I need
Your
that.
Steam account needs some
My-
Metamucil.
You better like that episode, bitch.
Turn it off.